You want to talk about sports?
Yes, I want to talk about sports.
You want to get a real job? You want to talk about sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
Sports?
Sports.
All right, sports it is.
Hello. Welcome to Tony's Upset. I'm your host, Tony Chinelli, and I am here with my co-host, Gianni Chinelli. How are you today, Gianni?
I'm doing well. Tony, who do we have with us today for our third person?
Yes, today we have a special guest as we have my dad, Gianni Chinelli.
Also known as Big G, because little G's here.
Yeah, I mean, it is a little bit confusing to have three people on a podcast and two of them to have the exact same name, but it's going to be fine. We'll just call him Pops or something. Anyways, let's get started. Tony, what are you upset about today?
So today I am upset. I didn't want to talk about the New York Yankees, even though they're still in first place. What I'm getting so upset is our manager, Aaron Boone, has been making this mistake all since he's been our manager since 2017.
What's he been doing?
Ever since Jason Dominguez, who's our outfielder, had a very big game a couple nights ago, going 4 for 5. And what does Boone do? He benches him, and he loses his momentum. He benched Jason Dominguez. Not just Dominguez, but he benches his best players.
And they lose their momentum.
Yes, that's correct.
Now, what do you think? Is he benching these players intentionally?
He's not benching them. As an ex-player, he thinks he knows better because he says the daily grind, what's going on in Major League Baseball. But these guys stay in some of the best hotels, fly in the best planes, have nutrition, people cooking for them and all these other things. And he's always worried about them being tired. Yet when they're not playing well, they're playing, and then all of a sudden they get hot, he decides, let's rest them. They need a rest. No, nobody wants to stop their momentum. Nobody. And he's done this to many players. One in case is Gleyber Torres, who had a pretty good career with the Yankees, and then we let him go this past year. Now he's having a phenomenal year down in Detroit. But every time Gleyber Torres would start getting home runs or start getting 2-3 hits, time to rest him. And he's doing the same thing right now with another young phenom. He's 22 years old. This guy, they've been talking about Jason Dominguez since he's 16 years old. They call him the Martian because he's a freak. He could hit a ball so hard, throw a ball, run fast. He's a 5-tool player. Now, the Yankees usually kind of waste their talent or trade him away. This time they brought him up. But what are they doing? 4 for 5? And a couple games before that, he got another 3 or 4 hits. You can't do that. I mean, these guys, they're young. They're impressionable. You can't crush their soul.
Let me ask you a question. Are guys getting soft tissue injuries that are leading to a need for these players to be rested? Or is it just the coach thinking he knows best where in reality it's not necessary?
This is where the coach thinks he knows best because he's looking at it in the view of a former player. Okay. And I think that as a former player, it's hurting this whole idea. There's former players, there's coaches. There's always been that way. But it used to be the best coaches were players that weren't that good because they knew how to coach more than they think they know how to coach. You know what I mean? We don't care. They were athletes. They made millions and millions of dollars. Okay. They're supposed to be on the field playing. Okay. Not resting because the coach thinks they need a rest, especially when they're getting hot.
Well, that even showed it. Dominguez, since he went 4 for 5, yesterday game he was 0 for 3, and today he was 1 for 5.
Let me ask you a question. Are other coaches doing this? Are other coaches feeling this need to rest players during the season?
Well, yes, they do, but not like how Boone does it. But yes, some players, they do get rest.
Is Boone doing it a lot?
Yes.
Boone does it a lot.
But the thing is,
picks really bad times.
Okay.
If you're in an 0 for 10 or 0 for 40 thing, you rest them. Maybe give them a chance to look at things differently. Maybe stop thinking about things so much. But you don't do it after the person starts hitting a couple home runs and base hits.
Yeah, but like Paul Goldschmidt, who was 0 for 20 yesterday until he got a single,
yeah.
Why didn't he rest him?
Well, it's weird. I know that some coaches have this mentality of you have to play a player out of a slump. That way they don't lose confidence. But at the same time, if you're worried about injuries, if you're worried about overworking, like Dad said, let the guy take a break. take a step away. Let him actually feel
I
like
don't think he's playing him out of a slump. He's playing him into a slump.
Yeah, that's the thing. And let him realize, hey man, you're a professional. You have a job. You're not doing it. We're gonna let someone else try to do your job. I know these guys are fragile, but there's a certain level in which like you still have to be ruthless, especially when it's a multi-million-dollar game.
Well, here's the thing. The Yankees have 2 big series this week against the Toronto Blue Jays before.
We're breathing right on their neck right now.
Yep, absolutely.
We were way ahead of them.
Yep.
Coincidentally, this is not relevant to sports, but Blue Jays are the worst bird objectively. Go ahead, Tony.
And then
They're the worst bird.
We're going to kick them out.
Cardinals are pretty. Mockingbirds have a good personality. Blue Jays are ugly.
Okay, this is a baseball.
And they're loud.
A sports podcast.
Yeah,
Let's
get them out of here, Tony. Kick them out.
Okay. You know what? You keep talking about the Yankees and the Mets, who are not.
Before you know he's going to bring up
Yankees,
soccer again. Stop it.
After the Yankees play Toronto, they play a huge series against their arch rival, the New York Mets. Now, they played earlier this year with the Yankees winning 2 out of 3 games against the Mets. But now they're going into Queens to play in Citi Field in the Mets Stadium.
I miss growing up when the Mets just sucked.
They still suck.
Yeah, but we have family members that are Mets fans, and now that they're decent, it's annoying.
Let's get it right. It's Mets fans.
Okay. Dad, what do you think about the Subway Series?
Listen, I went to the 2000 game against where...
Is that where you got the pullover from?
I was freezing that game. I went there with John Flynn, remember, your godfather?
Mm-hmm.
And it was cold. That's the game Roger Clemens threw the bat at Piazza. And I swear at one point I think they called this and they wanted to arrest, Clemens. And the police were like, no way we're doing that. Plus, I think everybody was drinking. It was so cold we were inside the bar, the Yankee Pinstripe Pub. I went outside just to say I went out there. It was freezing. But that was 2000, yeah. That was a long time ago.
Do you still have that Yankees Subway Series pullover?
Yes, I do.
I'm going to go to the house and steal it.
What else is new?
Seriously. All right. Tony, got any last thoughts about the Subway Series? The Subway Series, for those of you who don't know, is what they call the games between the Yankees and the Mets.
And they're across town, and you take the
subway to get to them.
Yeah. You can take the subway. You can take there's 3 bridges.
You can run on your feet. You can run your mouth.
59th Street Bridge. You can take the Brooklyn Bridge, Manhattan Bridge.
Can you take Throg's Neck?
You can. If you want to circle around.
That's such a good name for a bridge, Throg's Neck. All right, sorry. Go ahead, Tony.
Oh, okay. So here's the thing. The Yankees will have a big 2 weeks, and then they have the All-Star break.
Talk to me about the All-Star break. Anything big there?
Yes, Aaron Judge, who just hit his 29th and 30th home run today, and also Shohei Ohtani, who...
Say that again. Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei, that's
it. Is it Shohei?
Shohei Ohtani, yes. He's got it right.
That's going into the recording later?
Well, listen, Shohei.
Hey. All
Shohei.
Right. Go ahead, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani is also... He's had 29 home runs and is getting back into pitching. He broke a record this year. He's found the fastest ball over 101 miles per hour just a week ago.
That's the fastest this year or in general?
Yeah, fastest this year. For him.
No, yeah, because some guys are throwing already 103.
I remember the first Yankees baseball card I got. This is not a guy who is like famous in the Yankee, Kyle Farnsworth. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
We got a ball from him.
96 miles an hour. We thought that was crazy back then.
Yeah.
It was. Now everybody's throwing like that.
When we saw the Yankees, I think, play the Blue Jays in that game at Yankee Stadium right before they closed it.
Remember that? He threw the ball.
Yeah.
We went there, that was around Easter.
Mm-hmm.
Mike Ragno gave me those tickets.
So there's 2 more things I want to talk about the All-Star break. Tony, talk to me about the guy who's actually leading the MLB in home runs.
Yes, his name is Cal Raleigh.
Is he a good player?
He's a good player.
He's always been a good player.
Decent.
But
this year, he's leading all MLB with 32 home runs, and he plays catcher for the Seattle Mariners.
Wow. Is he an older guy?
Late 20s.
So is he a guy that maybe is just developing into who he wants to be, like a late bloomer?
Absolutely. Yeah, he's a late bloomer.
And you think he'll make the All-Star game?
Yes.
Is it a little weird, though, that he's not a captain?
No, because even though he can, anytime he could be, but with Judge, who's 33, and, he's getting into his older age, but he's still playing his best.
Yeah.
His best right now.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. Aaron Judge, 33. This guy is 29. He's a catcher. I don't know. The weird thing to me is with Shohei Ohtani, with Judge being the captains, I know that the All-Star game is supposed to be a popularity contest, but should it be? Dad, do you have any thoughts on that?
It's always going to be. Okay, there's some people that are just more charismatic. The problem with that is that it really takes away from people that have fought their whole lives to get into the Major League Baseball. To get there is hard enough, and then to have a good year is even hard enough. And to be consistent, these things are very difficult. And the problem is when people get in there because of popularity, it takes away from that. It takes away from the hard work of the other people who worked really hard to get there. I do have a problem with that, but I don't think you're ever going to get away from it.
It's weird. I remember, as a kid, that one year they were trying to get Brett Gardner to the All-Star game. And it was weird because he was having a sensational season, but he was, one of 7 guys on the Yankees that were great. But, for him, he was having a superb season. He's a great example of a guy who should be rewarded. I think it should be, if you're usually a 7 out of 10 and you're performing at an 8.5 out of 10, this guy, this catcher, he should be going to the All-Star game.
No, All-Star. You got to be the best. Okay? So sometimes these guys are not the best. They've been the best before, but they're not. But here's the other problem. I got to tell you, the other side of it is sometimes these people make the All-Stars because they have a great, season, and then the rest of the season, they tank.
Yeah.
And then, you sit there and you say, wow. And the guy and the regular All-Star that's made it year after year, who started off really slow, and it just shows you because, most of the time, as Dave Winfield said a long time ago, if I'm a 300 hitter now and I'm batting 200, eventually I'm going to get hot and wind up at 300. It's always going to even out. So great players, I understand why people vote them into the Major League, All-Star game because they're great.
Yeah.
And sometimes people have a good season. I don't know if Cal Raleigh's ever going to hit 32 home runs at the All-Star break again. I doubt it. I doubt it.
But I hope he does, and I hope that this is just the first one.
Well, he doesn't break Judge's record, though.
Yeah, of course not. I hope he doesn't do that. Okay. That's all good. Now let's transition from the MLB All-Star game to the WNBA All-Star game, where we have our 2 captains selected for both conferences. Tony, who do we got?
Yes, we are probably the biggest name in, I wouldn't even say in WNBA, just in sports general, Caitlin Clark. She's just, the 2 years she's been in the league, she's just been blowing up, even in college. She's going to be the captain for the East Conference.
Who's going to be for the West? I think it's going to be Nafisha Collier, right?
Yes.
Now, Nafisha's really interesting. Last year, she was the Defensive Player of the Year, which is impressive, and it might make you think, okay, well, she's just a defensive star. That's cool. But she's also currently leading the WNBA in scoring, right?
Yep.
Who does she play for?
She plays for the Minnesota Lynx.
And she won the MVP just recently, didn't she?
Yep, and she's out of Lynx. And right now, the Minnesota Lynx have the best record in the WNBA.
Awesome. All right. Tony, what do you got about the UFC?
Yeah, so last night in the UFC, we saw 28-year-old star Ilia Topuria from Georgia, but is a native of Spain.
So when you say Georgia, you're talking about the Georgia used to be part of Russia.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, the country of Georgia.
The country of Georgia.
It's not the Peaches, Georgia.
No, not the
Peach
state
pie, that
Georgia.
was pretty good, though.
Yes,
that was good.
The peach pie was fantastic.
Yeah, a little bit of ice cream from Tillamook. That was nice. All right, Tony. So, Ilia Topuria.
Topuria.
He fought last night.
What against Charles Oliveira. And he knocked out Charles Oliveira in the first round.
In the first round?
Yes.
Okay.
A beautiful combination.
Yep. He was the 10th person to become a 2-time division champion.
No, when you say 2-time...
2-time...
2 division champion?
2 division champion, yes.
Say that again.
A champion in 2 divisions, you're saying. Right?
Champion in 2 divisions, not back-to-back.
So 2 weight limits, what were they?
Yes. His first, he was a featherweight champion. And then now he's become a lightweight champion. That is 145 for featherweight, 155 for lightweight.
That's 10 pounds he went up. That's a lot for a fighter usually.
Yep.
Awesome. So, Tony, one thing you told me earlier is that in this fight, it was a vacated belt. What does that mean?
A vacated belt, so like a champion who wants to move up in a weight. So, like, Islam Makhachev was the champion at the time, but he decided that he didn't want to fight at lightweight anymore. So he decided to move up to welterweight. That means that the lightweight division didn't have a champion. So Ilia Topuria, who was the featherweight champion, and I know that you were saying you wanted rankings, but Topuria wasn't ranked because he was already a champion. So they just moved him up, and he fought the number 2 ranked lightweight, Charles Oliveira, for the title.
So he got credit, but because he was a champion before, he didn't have to work his way up in the new division.
Yep, absolutely.
And he showed it.
He did.
It was a really good combination.
People
I did watch the YouTube video.
People ask me sometimes why people train and they do these, shadow boxing and things like that. It's all muscle memory. And what that guy was doing at that moment right there was combination. That was all muscle memory. It's bang, 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 and boom, he caught him, tagged him. Good night.
Yep, that was a great fight. Well, that's all we have for us today. Tony, you have anything you want to leave us with?
No, I'm good. So our next episode, we're going to be talking about the NBA draft and what gets me so upset about it. And it was also a big week for the NHL draft, too. As we're going to dive into the number 1 overall pick and also our home team, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Awesome. That's all we got, guys. Thank you. Have a great night.
Shohei Ohtani, who...
Say that again. Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei,
that's
Is it Shohei?
Shohei
Yeah.
Ohtani, yes. He's got it right.
That's going into the recording later?
Well, listen, Shohei.
Shohei.
Shohei. Hey.
Hey. All right.
Shohei.
Go ahead, Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani